what if the skies went quiet? Like, not by choice. Imagine no more airplanes.
Yeah.
Because we ran out of, the resources to keep them going. Scary, right?
It is pretty bleak thought, but it's a scenario that one designer, Elena Villarroel, she kind of tackled that head on with her project, Aerogel membranes.
So aerogel membranes, what is that all about?
Well, it's this super interesting project that, well, it imagines this future where we're, like you said, dealing with resource scarcity. And she focuses specifically on extracting moisture from the air, like pulling water out of thin air, essentially.
Wait, but how do you even do that?
It's all about these membranes. And get this, they're made from recycled aircraft batteries.
So like turning trash into treasure.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not just some random idea. Like, she was really inspired by nature, by biomimicry.
Biomimicry, like copying nature to solve problems.
Yeah, exactly. See, she was fascinated by the Namib desert beetle. This little guy survives in one of the driest places on Earth. You know how? It collects moisture on its back, literally pulls water out of the air.
Wow.
Villarroel was like, what if we could do that on a larger scale? So she took this incredibly lightweight material called Aerogel. It has a huge surface area. And she found that lithium compounds, which, are found in those old aircraft batteries, well, she could use those to create a super efficient membrane that basically mimics the beetle's back.
That's incredible. So old plane batteries become like giant desert beetle backs.
Pretty much. And it's not just about, clever engineering. There's a bigger message here, I think.
Yeah, it feels like a bit of a warning, right? Like, hey, our current ways aren't sustainable.
Exactly. Like, what happens when our unsustainable practices catch up to us? Global aviation, it's a huge industry, but it relies on, finite resources. So Villarroel's project is kind of a wake-up call. It's saying, hey, we got to be smarter, more resourceful.
It really makes you think. And it makes me wonder about Villarroel. Like, how did she even begin to think about this? How did she go from desert beetles to, this whole global resource crisis?
Well, she's very much a researcher at heart. She starts with like deep dives into like the science, like how do these biological systems actually work, all those chemical processes.
Right.
And then she builds these really detailed models, like hypotheses, and she tests them. And through, trial and error, she refines her designs. It's very iterative.
Wow. So she's not just like an artist. She's like a scientist too.
Oh, absolutely. And there's this other layer to her work. So she grew up in Chile, and she was really inspired by the indigenous communities there and their traditional methods of, water harvesting, especially in arid environments.
It's amazing how she brings like this ancient wisdom and this cutting edge science together. It's really cool.
It is.
And, I have to say the image of these tiles, like shimmering scales, pulling moisture from the air, it's such a powerful visual.
It is, right. Like, it makes you think, doesn't it? And it also kind of speaks to this whole idea of the circular economy.
The circular economy.
Yeah, it's this concept of like using what we already have, like those discarded aircraft batteries, and turning them into something new, something essential.
Right, like not just throwing things away, but finding new uses for them.
Exactly. It's all about rethinking waste.
It's really inspiring, like what if we could do that with everything, like solve all sorts of problems just by looking at nature and being resourceful.
That's the beauty of like speculative design. It's not just about predicting the future. It's about, like you said, it's about provoking us. It's about pushing us to imagine what could be.
I love that. I love that. Well, thank you for joining us for this deep dive into Elena Villarroel aerogel membranes. If you enjoyed this exploration of resourcefulness and biomimicry, be sure to share this with someone